What's up? It's Matt. I'm about to pop the top on the worms here and see how they're doing. So if you guys remember last week, oh, a little bit of fruit flies there. I filled this thing up to the seam. So it is now about 2 inches below the seam again. So there obviously are worms in here, and they're obviously eating damage here. So I thought I was going to do something different this week, and that's really dig in there, because I don't ever see worms on top. Yeah, I got the light, so I'm not going to see many, but I never see any. So we're going to see how deep I have to go to hit worms. Right here's where I fed last week. The only thing that's left is part of an apple, it looks like. There's the dry bedding I put underneath it. There's one worm. There's some worms underneath it all. I think these worms are staying pretty daggum deep down in this bedding and just eating it slowly as they work their way back up through it. I don't know, let me put that apple back over there so I can kind of keep my rotation of feeding stuff going. Look in that corner. Go deep down in there. There's some worms. Again, they're pretty deep down in there. I haven't fed that corner yet. So if they're over there, they're probably eating bedding. This is the very first corner I fed. We got deep, way deep in there. Again, there's worms. You can see them slithering around all over the place, but they're a lot deeper than I expected them to be. You can see bits of eggshell and everything else. There was absolutely no food there. That's a big worm, yo. Push this back over here. So I told myself I'm not gonna dig down deep in this bed every week. I'm just doing it today because I want to actually see how many worms I got. And if I have worms. I knew I had worms because the levels were dropping. I just don't see any explosions of worms. There are definitely worms in here, and they're definitely eating stuff. So I dug up all four corners. Let's just dig right down in the middle and see what we pull up. Not many worms right down in the middle. When I get way deep in the middle, there are worms again. I mean, the moisture, if I squeeze really, really hard, I get some drops out of it, but nothing. I mean, it's from what everybody has read, what I've read and what I've seen, I actually have pretty damn perfect moisture. Really got to squeeze to get a drop out of it. Except right there on the very top of it drying out. And, I mean, you can see the color difference in it. It's light brown and drying out. So that's the last time that I'm going to dig up all four corners of this thing. I just wanted to look and see how many worms I have. I'm not sure how many it was. I mean, there's worms in all four corners, and there was worms deep in the middle. So there's worms throughout this thing. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put this on pause, go get the food, feed that corner, add my bedding for the week, and leave these guys alone. Alright, so I was going to feed the corners like I normally do, but after watching other videos, I see that people don't always just feed the corners. So I'm gonna try to really feed this thing up this week, because they're eating what I'm putting in there through the course of a week. So I don't think I'm overfeeding them. So I'm gonna try to spark a little something here. See if I can't get these guys to really work. So what I'm gonna do, I'll put down a layer of dry bedding, which is hand ripped cardboard because I don't have a shredder. Some napkins that I got randomly. And this is gonna be to soak up some wet food I'm about to pour through here. So this is way more dry bedding than I've put through here before. Keep in mind, guys, I'm a month into being a worm farmer. So when I say, yeah, I would ever do that in my vast experience of 1 month. So there is a good layer of cardboard and napkins and some cardboard eggshells. And I've got some mixed vegetables, which are hitting around my house, with some blueberries that I love. So those are going in the middle here, all getting tossed together. And I've got this bag, which has, I think, strawberries, green beans, banana peel, I know for sure. Oh yeah. And I froze this. This has been frozen for a while. Bananas, frozen bananas, banana skins, green beans, strawberries with green beans, more crushed up banana. And when I froze this, I just took a handful of coffee grounds and threw in there with it. So I'm going to throw another handful of coffee grounds over this. That's actually a cold brew coffee pack because cold brew is damn delicious. So yeah, handful of coffee. Take some eggshells. Get those out. That's a lot of eggshells, but I actually put quite a fair amount of coffee in there, and I'm gonna put some more. And I am not 100% sure that cold brew coffee is okay because it hasn't gone through the heating up process that normal coffee would. It just sits and basically steeps overnight in water. So I'm not 100% sure that it's going to be safe, but you won't know. Unless you find out there's a napkin, paper towel in here that I'm shredding up a little bit, just so it's not sitting in one big clump. Okay, so that's on there. Now I've got bedding going on. And I have a lot of fruit flies. I'm going to put the bedding to this thing to make sure every bit of it is covered. there's this week's massive, probably overfed. I don't know. We'll see. It was probably a little over a pound of food scraps, 2 handfuls of coffee grounds. Well, I'll show you. A half a thing of eggshells and some dry bedding. And I'm going to go a step further and put a little more dry bedding in here because fruit flies. Actually, I'm not. I'm just going to cover this with newspaper and squirt it down with water, like I always do. This week I opened it up midweek when I got home on actual Wednesday. If y'all know, I film these on Sundays and upload them on Wednesdays. So I got home on Wednesday and looked, and there was mushrooms growing all throughout the bed. I wish I would have taken a picture of it, but I didn't. When I opened them up today, as you saw, there were no mushrooms going. So I don't know what that means. I guess it means things are breaking down like it's supposed to, but there you go. Massive feeding of the Vermibag Mini. Hopefully not overfed, but we'll see how it goes this week. Just for reference, we are right just above, well, right at the Vermi window. Just a little above the Vermi window. If you can see right there. There's the bottom seam of the Vermi window. When I push it over and level it out, we're just a little bit up the Vermi window. So we will see how these guys do this week with this much food. And we'll check in with it Wednesday. I'll take a picture of how much it dropped. And we'll talk to you later. We're on Wednesday. What?